Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Weeb Weekly. Guys, we are brought to you by Bet Online. We are back, Bet Online is at least, back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back for another football season. As always, Bet Online is your number one spot for all pro and college football action this season with a new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests. Bet Online continues to be the number one source for everything football. Head to our website or use our mobile device to sign up today and receive up to 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code BLEAV, that is Believe, BLEAV, to receive your bonus from football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. Bet Online, where the game starts. Hello, everyone. How are we today? I am Nick C. Comedy, and I am joined by my boy, Tropical Joe, who might be betting online. Who knows? I mean, if there's an F1 race he's particularly interested in.
Hey, I do dabble sometimes, but that is neither here nor there. We got a big week. We got a big week, gents.
Massive.
Thank you so much for episode number 30. We are in celebration mode, baby. The big 3-0.
Our podcast is officially a Gen Xer.
Oh, Jesus. Mizu, how you been?
I've been doing fantastic.
It's good to hear, guys. Just a quick we're planning on switching up our plugs here so everyone can remember who we are. We want you guys to know what beautiful faces you're listening to currently. So I just want to go ahead and come out and say it. I am Nick C. Comedy of TikTok, NC Hammer of 23 of a rising YouTube fandom, and NC Hammer on Twitch, verified Twitch streamer. Jose.
I am Tropical Joe. I'm Tropical Joe on Instagram and TikTok. The Tropical Joe on Twitter and basically every other page. Just type Tropical Joe and you will find me there.
Mm-hmm.
Also in the news, I will be posting YouTube reviews on my YouTube. So you can check my YouTube. Just type Tropical Joe and you will find me. Mizu, let the people know where they can find ya.
You can find me, Mizu Shogun, on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And also you can find me on Reddit. Join the Shogunate.
The Shogunate, hell yeah, I love that name. That's awesome, guys. And speaking of things I love, we got a classic anti-hero story today. Well, not today, a couple days ago, about Venom. I mean, God knows we've been hearing the sounds on TikTok for like the last 3 months. So it was good to actually finally see Venom on screen instead of in my ears. In terms of a crisp 90-minute movie, I thought they did a fantastic job. Love sitting down knowing I'm going to be there less than 2 hours, get a story shoved down my throat and head out. How did you guys like it?
I absolutely loved the experience. So not necessarily the movie like as a whole. Obviously not every movie is perfect except for Jurassic Park.
Tony, cover your ears.
I will die on that hill.
Naturally.
I wouldn't say the movie is good for exactly what you think it is. Like, you know exactly what you're getting into, and it is a massive improvement on the first movie in terms of what worked, right? So they took what worked and they turned it up to 11, which is Venom and Eddie. Venom and the relationship between Venom and Eddie, it's like basically a married couple, an old married couple, and even Andy Serkis like talked about it in his interviews. Like, this is the 7-year itch. Like, they're just together all the time. They can't stand each other, but they can't live without the other. Mizu, what did you think about the movie as a whole?
Oh, 100%. I definitely lean with Jose because, again, I would say that it was a great experience. It is a good movie. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. Like you said, if you you're already going with the mindset of what you're going to get into and just have fun, it's fantastic. And also, you could say going with that marriage thing, it was very romantic. A very romantic movie. It was very rom-comish in a way.
What was funny is that they peddled the romance of Venom and Eddie through Anne, kind of like it was like Venom takes over Anne, and then it's like the apology is to Anne, but it's also to Venom. But they were a married couple essentially.
And the breakup. And
a breakup. And it was honestly, if I can be so blunt, if they released an R version of this movie, it would have been substantially better. I think they fell into the same problem that the original Suicide Squad fell into, trying to make it like trying to catch a wide audience and kind of falling short because you're like, listen, you're telling a story of a dude who needs to run on human brains in order to function. Like, he's going to fuck some people up. And unfortunately, like in a PG-13 rating, I mean, it's funny because in PG-13 you're allowed to say fuck once, right? And
but
it
no
wasn't
blood.
until it wasn't it wasn't until the very end when they were like, fuck this guy. And I was like, if we could have just had more of like these moments where Venom is like Venom, you know, like a completely metal, badass, blood-soaked character, it would have been great. But if I can give my hats off to one thing that Venom did very well, it was Carnage. Because if I'm being real, Carnage's look and his demeanor and his screams and all that put me at the edge of my seat, put like goosebumps on my skin. Like, he actually kind of creeped me out.
I would say that this is probably one of the best adaptations for like one of the titular villains for a character that Sony has done, at least. Well, scratch that, because we also have the original Spider-Man trilogy. But nevertheless, I would say that the addition of Carnage to this movie was at the perfect time. So everybody knows that Carnage is probably, besides Spider-Man, Venom's most iconic, at least, villain, right?
Yeah.
Because he's essentially the opposite of Venom. He's his offspring, but at the same time he's stronger, faster, supposed to have like less weaknesses. Like the symbiote biology makes it so your offspring are stronger than you, which is kind of Darwinism, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I would say the first thing that came to mind when I saw Carnage in terms of the design, which you mentioned, and I want to hear Mizu's take on this. So, for some reason, do you guys remember when in Lord of the Rings you get the origins of the Uruk-hai, which are the orcs?
See him climbing out of the mud,
climbing out of the ooze, and like they're also like greasy and sweaty. That's exactly what Carnage. He looks like a fetus, like an overgrown, like huge fetus.
I guess, yeah.
Like Matrix style, like when Neo comes out of the bath. Yeah, that's exactly what he looks like.
I honestly like the design. Because at first I would say I was kind of skeptical in the beginning, like, how are they gonna do Carnage in a way, like in a live action way? And it didn't disappoint. He looks what I expected him to look. So I definitely like that. But however, when I was mentioning earlier about like the rom-comness, I wasn't just talking about Eddie and Venom. I was talking about Carnage and Shriek. The way these two acted in the whole thing, like that whole prison scene where they were escaping from the facility and they were just dancing with the fire and as the facility was going down. I was like, wow, this is like, I even told my wife it was like Joker and Harley Quinn, but a non-toxic like couple.
Yeah, I mean, so did you think that the romantic plot line between Shriek and like Cletus Cassidy either added or subtracted from the movie?
I'll say this. Well, you said in terms of movie. In the movie, you can make an argument. You can make an argument for either, but in terms of character for Carnage, it adds to Carnage because beforehand in the comics, Carnage is kind of one note. He's a serial killer. All he cares about is death and just being crazy. But this actually added kind of like a layer to him. That means he actually does care about someone other than Venom. Because in the comics, he has an obsession with Venom, like how Joker has an obsession with Batman, but he also has another person that he did care about, which is interesting to me.
I feel like kind of on the fence about this, not with the romantic relationship, but on like Cletus Cassidy in general, because I think Woody Harrelson, like, I mean, he's known.
I think he did a good job.
Yeah, he's made a career out of playing like misunderstood or crazy or like wild characters, right? And this just fits the bill. Like he nails the serial killer vibes to the T. The issue that I see, right, is that this movie is so short. Like, I feel like if you would have gone 150 instead of 130 in terms of minutes, you could have added a little bit more, because they're pushing the hard narrative of like feeling a little bit of empathy towards Cletus, because and like especially his big reveal at the end that like, oh, nobody stopped to think that like Cletus was like abused by his father and his mother, and I'm like, damn, but you killed 23 people like because of that.
Dude, every serial killer like either has like some kind of like abuse, like some kind of abuse in their backstory. Like mental health is your responsibility, and it's also like your burden. Like it's not
facts.
great, but it is your responsibility. And so like I personally was not empathetic for Cletus Cassidy at all. Like yes, you were abused, but there's many abuse survivors out there who don't murder people, you know?
Where I was going, right, is that like the empathy, like it is sort of like pushed that way, but the one that actually resonates is with him and Shriek, even with, even if like Shriek is kind of like a little bit like non-existent in the movie. Like she has what, like 20 lines or maybe, something like that. Yeah, like it's
in the first 5 minutes in the last 20.
She's essentially like a plot device for the final battle. But I do agree, Cletus Cassidy could at times feel a little bit like I'll say this. The dialogue for Woody was at times a little bit like either forced or a little bit stale. That's the only criticism I have for the dialogue.
Yeah, that's fair.
His performance as like Carnage and like fighting with Carnage, talking with Carnage, everything that had every single second that Carnage himself was on the screen was glorious.
Yeah. I would say it's a bit of an Anakin situation. Well acted, but not incredibly well written. It was I would say if anything his lines were a bit contrived. Yeah. It was like, oh, why did I push grandma down the staircase? And it was like there's a lot of angles you can go with like a serial killer background. There's so much you can encapsulate because now you're not bound by the boundaries of sanity. And so there's so many things you can encapsulate. And I think they did a good job of like making him look unhinged, but also understanding that there's a core person in there who loves Shriek. But I honestly, I said earlier, I was like, it's cool that it was 90 minutes. It was a jam-packed 90 minutes. But honestly, I agree. It probably could have been longer because I mean, we didn't get a real look at it. Kind of just threw you straight into the Cletus Cassidy wants to meet Eddie thing. We didn't really see is Eddie out there on the streets protecting people? They're talking about the lethal protector. He's keeping a low profile because the FBI, like they're feeding him chickens and chocolate. What's going on after? What's going on, Mizu?
I know, and that's the thing. I think that was very weird is that they didn't really show how Eddie and Cletus connected. Like, how do they know each other, or how did they like meet in the way? And on top of that, I will say this: one thing I did not like is how Cletus got Venom. Because in the comic books, it seemed much cooler how he got it. Like it was kind of like he was on the verge of being executed in a way, and I guess he had an open wound because he met Eddie before. Yeah, the whole thing happened, and he had an open wound. And I guess he had tried to attack Eddie, and Venom came out, and some of Venom went into his bloodstream. Yeah. And kind of combined with his DNA and stuff like that. But in the movie, it just all he did is got close and he bit him. Like he just bit him through his cell, and it was like that was it. That's how he got Venom.
So it's like an All Might situation. Like it's like All Might if he didn't have to like have the will to pass it down. Is anyone who bites? My girlfriend asked me this. She's like, so anyone who gets Eddie's blood in them instantly gets a symbiote? Is that how it works?
It's kind of weird because they like symbiote reproduction is asexual, so like they can like technically just like spawn. And there's I think in another one of the comics like Venom is trying to break out Eddie out of prison, and then like a little drop falls off of Venom, and that's what like attaches to Cletus and then spawns a Carnage. The main thing here is that like it's not intentional, right? Like unless he's actually trying to create an offspring, it can happen in any freaking way. Like you could like it could be like the other parallel that I see is from the MCU, one of the first movies in the MCU, The Incredible Hulk, where the one drop of Bruce Banner's blood lands in Stan Lee's like drink, and he like dies because of all the radiation. But like technically that could be like, if you carry the gene that can like literally like make you the Hulk, then
you should that gamma radiation turn you into Abomination or something. Yeah. That's crazy.
Or She-Hulk, which is coming out possibly soon.
And speaking of female iterations of beloved characters, Is it weird that when Anne gets Venom, I'm oddly attracted to female Venom? That's weird, right? That's a problem with my brain.
She gets it, I think, in one of them. So
yeah, I know, but like female Venom is hot to me.
Oh yeah.
That's I feel like that's the miswiring in my brain.
Well, yeah.
Also, the thing is, like, you said we cranked up Eddie and Venom's relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't get, like, I feel like we didn't get a lot of like side story. Like, we didn't get Anne. We got Anne and Dan a little bit at the end, but like, I feel like we didn't see Anne. We didn't see Mrs. Chen.
And the cop.
Eddie. It was like, yeah, I guess we saw like the deaf guy, the deaf cop. But like, I feel like we just didn't get a lot of backstory from a lot of other people. It just, the movie felt very like one note, you know. It was a tunnel.
I feel that, honestly. It's not like but the thing is that's what the movie like sets out from the jump, right? It's not meant to be like The Godfather. It's just literally meant to be like I feel like, okay, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like
CGI symbiotes fight each other. That was the
yes jump. But like I feel like even with the delays and the pushing it up again, I feel like Venom 2 had one purpose and one purpose only, which was like to serve as a transition film between like the story that we look. How do we get Venom from point A to point B?
And if we're being real, okay, so obviously, guys, if you haven't seen Venom, like we haven't really said a lot of spoilers thus far. Like we've danced around it, but la. If you haven't seen it, so
yeah, if you haven't seen it, we're about to drop some big news. So if you haven't get off of this actually. Or
multiple big. Okay, I have one big news. So obviously, in the end credit scene, Eddie and Venom are chilling out in like Mexico or something because they're on the run. And Eddie's like, oh, like you like share with me some of the symbiote suffering. And then in the process of trying to do that or something, like Venom says it wasn't him, but Eddie gets transported to Spider-Man's dimension exactly post Far
From Home.
But Mysterio like revealing his identity. And he just wakes up in that hotel room he was in, but like in a different universe essentially. So now Venom is in MCU, and he most likely will be in No Way Home as one of the Sinister Six villains, or maybe even Spider-Man's like friend or something, which is insane, absolutely bonkers. What was your multiple newses?
There's multiple like pieces of news just within that end credit scene. There's like so much. So first of all, like we need to add a little bit of context, right? So if you haven't seen it, I mean, you already had the spoiler, but the big one is this is the first, one of the first references to the hive mind and Null, basically. Like they don't mention Null by name, but essentially Venom is like there's millions of years of symbiote history. And like I can show you just a little taste of what us symbiotes go through, because if I showed you all of it, it would fracture your little mind. That's how we know like Venom is not just like some loser from I think it's Clint.
Still can't get over that line.
But like that whole like monologue that he's saying it really seriously, because he knows that like when it refers to the hive mind, like that's the ultimate source of power. I mean, they were created to destroy Celestials. Like that's what the symbiotes were created to do. So that's what the symbiotes were created to do. So they mentioned that, and then like Venom tells Eddie, I'll try to like show you just a little bit. And as it happens, already Nick explained the transition into the MCU. The thing is, we don't know what causes it, right? We don't know if it's just like the multiverse just being created. We don't know if it's Doctor Strange. We don't know if it's like Wanda. Like there's just a bright yellow light at the end of the hotel room, and that's where we get it. The other thing is, right, this is not a totally new, but this is a new take on the relationship between Venom and Spider-Man, right? Because he doesn't like when he approaches the TV screen, and I think Mizu like can attest to this, like that it's clearly like fascination. It's not like I hate him from the start, because in the comics, like he like, well, in some iterations of the comics, like Venom attaches himself to Spider-Man, and he thinks like he's my perfect like host or whatever, but Spider-Man rejects him. And that hatred, combined with Eddie's hatred for Peter Parker taking pictures, is literally like what creates the perfect symbiote relationship. Their hatred for Spider-Man and Peter is like boom, compounded, perfect symbiote.
But there's already an existing symbiotic relationship.
Exactly. In this case, it's more like, wow, this guy, and then like he starts licking the screen. It's just, I think he views him like food or something. But I felt that was a pretty cool take. What you think, Mizu?
I was gonna say that I definitely agree that this is gonna be a different take on Venom and Spider-Man's relationship, because like you said, they had a history beforehand and they started off as enemies. Together, and then became enemies, and now became allies currently in the comic books. But now we're just starting off out the gate of, I would say I'm gonna lean towards, in my opinion, that they're gonna start off more like friends. Maybe they're gonna have those scenes where we see heroes beat each other and they always make them fight for some reason. And then they come together at the end and fight whoever the real bad guy is.
Injustice, more or less.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So I definitely think that would be an interesting way to see how they would connect with one another now, since we don't have that relationship between Spider-Man and villain. So I think that would be cool. On top of that, I would like to shout out Venom for his reaction, because he was trying to show Eddie what was going on until that happened. He was like, "Holy shit!" Like
I don't know what happened either. Yeah,
he was like, "What happened?" No, I don't know, but that was supposed to happen at all.
Yeah.
This was not the plan. So I mean, I'm assuming with a relationship, or at least like an original like interpretation of him being like fascinated. Do you guys think he'll be a villain, or do you think he'll be one of the people that help him?
I think there's gonna be like, I think there was a reason we didn't see the sixth member of the Sinister Six in the trailers. Like, obviously we didn't see all of them technically. Like they're still like speculated that it's Sandman and like Electro. We know 3, right? So the others are like in the air. But I'm like, it seems pretty coincidental that they show like Spider-Man and even Tom Holland. Like yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw his Instagram page, but like they were basically trading stories back and forth, Andy Serkis and Tom Holland, and Andy Serkis and Tom Holland was like, are the rumors true? And like Andy Serkis is like, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see, because like they're just like all referencing Far From Home, and No Way Home, and it's just it's really cool because.
What do you mean? Are the rumors true?
That like Venom is joining the
MCU. Gotcha.
Yeah. And so like I think that would be I don't know if it's a perfect moment to introduce Venom, but it's a perfect moment to start the relationship between Spider-Man and Venom. I would go for it. Honestly, this is just my take. I'd love to see what you guys think. The perfect way to introduce the Spider-Man Venom like crossover, like when Eddie like Venom leaving Eddie, going to Spider-Man, and then coming back, is jealousy, because Venom wants to be known as a hero. Like in this movie, like the main thing is like he's trying to be the lethal protector, the hero, and like Venom is just this grotesque monster that everybody hates. And now but the other thing is, right, if the spell works, nobody's gonna remember Spider-Man as a murderer. It's just gonna be like a crazy multiversal, like, because right now Spider-Man is the bad guy, right?
Well, is it no one's going to remember him as a murderer, or just no one's going to remember him, period?
Yeah, but like by extension of him not being known as Spider-Man, nobody's going to know that Mysterio was killed. Yeah. The thing is, I think it's going to come to the point that if all 3 Spider-Men join him, people are going to be like rooting for Spider-Man, and Venom will be jealous, and that's what like the where the animosity could start.
Maybe like he'll be jealous of his capacity to like swing people to his side, more or less.
Yeah.
I could get behind that. Yeah, I think obviously like they no pun intended here, but they have a somewhat symbiotic relationship, because Venom is an anti-hero and Spider-Man's the hero. It's like Deadpool and Spidey. Spidey has a lot of anti-heroes. And so obviously I'm excited to see what happens. I'm sure we'll get more teaser content. I maybe we'll even get like an additional, like maybe we'll see Venom in a Spider-Man like trailer, something like that. But yeah, no, I mean the end trailer was dope. I'm happy I'm surprised I didn't get it spoiled for me. Like it was the fact that I saw it like a day late. I was like, I'm absolutely gonna get it spoiled for me, and I didn't get it spoiled, which was awesome.
The only thing that I would like, and I said this beforehand, I want to know what y'all think.
Yep.
But why do we have to do the trope where like if the villain is not meant to be the main villain in like the big arcing story arc, you kill him in the first movie? Why would you kill Carnage in the first time we see him?
I definitely am on the same tip, Jose. I'm kind of getting irritated with that. They did this. They did it with Killmonger. Was pissed off about that. Did it with Claw as well. I was also pissed off about that because that would have been an easy sequel for Black Panther, in my opinion, for Claw the Return. Then they kill Wenwu from Shang-Chi, the Mandarin. I was pissed off about that one too. And now they kill Carnage, and it's like
you can go even further that they killed Ultron. They killed.
They also killed Thanos. And even though like Thanos was the big bad of like the first like 3 phases, like Thanos has so many like good stories in the comics. Like, I mean, the times that he's faced off against Galactus, like if like a multiversal Thanos shows up and like squares up against Galactus, shit's gonna pop.
Exactly. That's the thing. So it is an aggravating trope. So what does this mean monetarily for Sony and in Marvel? This is kind of my last speaking point on the movie. But like, does that mean, so with Sony being like now like he is in the MCU, are Sony and Marvel going to be working on these movies together? Are like Sony and Disney going to be working on these movies together? Is it a multi-movie contract deal? Why have we not heard anything about this?
So this is renegotiation time, by the way. This is essentially like a money, like they're trying to make Venom indispensable to Spider-Man's story.
Okay.
And with both of them in the MCU, once Tom Holland's deal is up with the the dual studio deal that ends after No Way Home, they're gonna have to renegotiate. And like Sony can be like, look, now he's a part Disney of the MCU. So like
they need both of them.
You need both of them. So like we have like you make it, we distribute it, we keep money too. So that's,
and here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, here's the thing. I love Disney, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Disney, if you were watching this, I have no animosity against you, but don't be gritty. I want this to work. I want this to work, company. and I feel like some of these negotiations feels like, I feel like, in my opinion, it seems like Disney is asking too much, because it's originally, because we all agree that Sony does own Spider-Man, or at least most of the Spider-Man properties.
Yep.
So this deal that happened in the first place is astonishing. Like I said, it's astonishing that they okay, you guys can have Spider-Man, but we just distribution, we get the money from certain parts here. But now it just feels like sometimes I feel like they're like, Disney is asking a little bit too much. I'm like, hey man, like don't mess with the system. Like, it's working right now. Everybody loves it. Don't ask it too much. Just let it go until we get to a certain point where
I don't know, man. It's gonna be
Disney's got the biggest stick, dude. Like they're hard to argue with. It's like talk easy and carry a big stick. Disney's got it. Like they have the upper end in on negotiation, because who's fucking with them right now?
I would say they were like, Disney did make strides recently, because everybody was a bit annoyed, to say the least, with the whole Scarlett Johansson situation, because they felt that like they basically screwed her over. They settled the deal. So like, and they said publicly that both parties are welcome to more collaborations, which is good, because like it sets a precedent, right, for the future. We obviously have the huge lawsuit from the estates of Steve Ditko and Stan Lee for the rights of the did you hear about that, Nick?
This is complete brand new news to me. I will be the audience.
Mizu, do you want to give a breakdown?
So I'll say in a general sense. So people have been having problems, especially like writers of these characters have been having problems of not getting basically the royalties behind the characters they created.
Yeah.
Like, one of the examples I definitely remember that I heard a lot of news about was the person who revitalized the Winter Soldier. The man, mind you, he did not create the Winter Soldier, because he originally was Bucky, but he came in and revitalized him and turned Bucky into what we know today as the Winter Soldier. And he never got money from any of the movies or anything that involved Winter Soldier in the MCU.
I would be so fucking lit. Oh my God.
Here's the thing, and to insult the injury, the biggest thing he got out of the MCU was a cameo. He was cameoed in one of the films, and that was it. He never got any real compensation for it. So
I would raise.
Exactly. And there are other artists who are speaking up in a similar way, which is also, as he was saying, Stan Lee and Steve Ditko both, or at least their estates, are upset about this. So, and one thing I've been noticing, which I'll say Disney is getting a lot better at now that I've heard, is that they have been trying to compensate people with this, at least giving them money for it. like give you like what's it called, like a settlement for it. Like, okay, we'll give you a settlement of this amount
to use your character.
Yes.
Thing is, dude, like what's crazy is like the fact that at such a high level, that's a problem. Like I was making a TikTok for Viz Media, and because I used a fan made, I was using like first off, I couldn't use media from Naruto, so I got like a fan art, and they're like, can we like, do you know the fan art? Like, can we have to credit them? All this kind of stuff. And I was like, shit, I'm just gonna do it all in cosplays because I was like, they were so worried about. I was like, how at the highest possible level are you not worried about this? I am making a TikTok for another account, and like they are worried about fan art here. Like that's consideration. Like shout out to Viz Media. So I mean, at the highest level, how is that not considered is absolutely bonkers to me. I hope those hit, because listen, like IP is important. Like pay the people who make these things. Like don't, like this happens all the time in the content creation world. Like people step on your IP. And it's like, listen, like, sure, you may think like this is some stupid little thing that I did or something that I worked on, but like, this is like my actual brand. This is money to me. This is, so yeah, no, absolutely. Disney's got.
No, but here's the thing though. Some of the businesses go at this angle. Like, oh, you made, for example, say if you work for me, Nick, and you made a character. However, I can pull the whole argument of, well, you used our pencils, you used our studio, you used all these things that we provided.
Wouldn't have done it without us.
Exactly. Therefore, it belongs to us.
So fucking stupid, dude.
The other thing is, like, people were very concerned that this would mean like the end of the MCU, and like what would like the MCU look like with if these characters were taken away. And it's not exactly that. It's more of like the estate's win they would have to get monetarily compensated for these studios to use their characters in like such big action franchises. So it would just essentially mean that there'd be like Disney would have to pay more money to the estates of the people that created these characters to use them in their movies.
They can afford that. They can absolutely, like, listen, how much money did Endgame make? Like a small government, like $3 trillion, something like that. Like how, like you can afford to pay the guy who, the guy who wrote like Captain America's original storyline. That's wild to me. I mean, I thank you for telling me about that. That's a very interesting little tidbit of news. And since we are talking Marvel, and I mean, I guess we're talking Marvel pretty much this is a Marvel special, ladies and gentlemen. We have now learned a little bit of Marvel IP that has gotten changed. So I guess it doesn't matter if you have to pay the people who wrote it, as long as you change their IP in a way that no longer makes it, canon to the comics. And in What If, now we have found out that Infinity Stones, it can work in other dimensions, which is terrifying. Because what's wild is that technically means, since Infinity Stones can work in other dimensions, right? The people who were using Infinity Stones in Loki as paperweights had Infinity Stones.
Yeah, they were just like depowered because of the TVA. Like, I don't know if Kang found a way to depower them, but like, yeah they just don't work.
Is that what that means?
So yeah, because Straw Hat Goofy, if you guys don't know who that is, go check him out. He kind of broke it down, and he basically made an argument that you can say that it's the TVA specifically where the Infinity Stones don't work. Okay. Everybody, they never said that Infinity Stones in general don't work in different dimensions. The guy, the worker dude who worked at the TVA was just like, oh, they don't work here. They don't work here in the TVA. So you could go with that angle, which in a way is kind of scary if you think about Kang. If Kang has to figure out a way to turn Infinity Stones off, that's some scary shit.
Or do they just not work in the quantum realm? Because it's technically between dimensions.
We still don't know if it's in the quantum realm. That's the thing. Like that's the whole like spiel. That's like,
I forgot they never paid that off.
Yeah. There's just like there's just a lot of rumors that things that will eventually be paid off. But like the thing is here, we have to address this. Black Air Force One Ultron basically took care of the entirety. He did literally took care of the entire MCU that you've seen so far, and in literally less than 20 minutes, he disrespected Thanos to such a degree that I was literally mind blown.
That was OD.
What the fuck was happening?
Thanos got sliced by like deli meat, dude. That was wild. Also, is Captain Marvel dead? Like, I don't like the
Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete.
The world exploded, but we never saw her die. Like, we saw Thanos die. Like, he aimed for the head, but like, did Captain Marvel die?
Yeah.
Well, the way Ultron sounded, he sounded very confident that she was dead.
Yeah.
The other thing is like he not only that explosion not only destroyed the world they were fighting in, it destroyed like planets more efficiently than the Death Star did. Like it was ridiculous. And the biggest thing for me is he also put Galactus out of a fucking job because he swallowed a galaxy. He swallowed a galaxy.
So here's my thing. What are the Celestials and the Living Tribunal and Galactus, for that matter, doing while this is all going on?
Blinder than an NFL ref, bro.
Honestly, what happened? Like, because the Watcher's just watching all of this, and he's high up there. Like, I mean, he's Super
Saiyan. He's Super Saiyan Watcher, bro.
He traded hands with him. If we're being real, that was a dope ass scene. But like at the end of the day, like the Living Tribunal and the Celestial should have been on top of this. Also, Ego got deleted. Ego is what, half Celestial?
No, Ego is a Celestial. That's the thing.
Okay.
Like the Celestials wouldn't have mattered unless they were all together, I guess.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When I saw him blow up the planet, I was like, oh no! And then when he blew up Ego, I was like, oh no!
You're like, yeah,
you blew up Ego.
You're like, get fucked, nerd. I don't.
Why?
Nerd.
Shucks. See, yeah. So what we're looking at here essentially is like, so season 2 of What If is confirmed, right? So.
Absolutely.
But now we're looking at these stories linearly, like they are now connected through Ultron and the Watcher both being able to transcend multiple dimensions. And essentially what's important is, I think, as long as Ultron returns to his original universe, they can use the Zola update to like shut him down, something like that. But like, are we now just going to get a show out of this, or do you guys think after episode 9 we're just back to our like, oh, what if T'Challa was actually like 7 feet tall? Like,
I honestly think, like, as always, Mr. Kevin Feige is just like playing 4-dimensional chess. So if you think about it, this season of the show served a purpose. And it is the origin story for the Watcher. Like, we will see him in the MCU eventually, so they had to introduce him some way. But what it also did was set up many other possible infiltrations into the MCU that could happen in the future. So what I mean by that is, there's a new episode that's coming in a couple of days with Doctor Strange, the Supreme Strange, coming back. And like there's so many threads that you can pull on. So I think the What If show is going to be utilized as a way to introduce characters that are essential for the development of the MCU overall meta storyline. That's the biggest thing, because if you think about it, bro, like they just destroyed countless universes, and I know there's an infinite amount, but like Ultron easily managed to destroy what three, like he destroyed
they were just
Asgard
fighting.
in one.
They were just fight. Oh yeah, destroyed Asgard, Xandar, Ego. Well, that was all in the same dimension though.
Oh yeah, that's true. But bro, it was so wild. We even got through, like we landed in the Star Wars universe, which is another like theory that people had.
There's a theory when he was fighting the Watcher. There was a planet that looked like a lava planet, and some people speculate that was Mustafar, the same planet where Obi-Wan and Anakin fought.
Yeah.
So
in the
Isn't
distance,
that Darth
you
Vader's
do
home
see,
planet too. Like that's where Darth Vader like sets up his Sith camp, right? If I'm not mistaken.
That's what you see in the distance of like the show. You see a castle that looks like
Darth Vader's castle.
It's just way too similar to ignore. It's just like, fuck,
exactly.
Why?
Go back to the scene and then go look up Darth Vader's castle. It looks like almost identical.
So my biggest thing is here, I'm circling back for a long time, like for a long, like 60 years time. Infinity Stones haven't worked in the dimension they're not from.
In the comics.
Now that we in the comics, yes. Yeah. But if we're being real, usually the MCU kind of plays by the comics rules, and that's a big.
This is the biggest change.
That's a really big rule. So what does that mean for the MCU? Do we think
that means there's a lot more? There's a lot more opportunities for expansion. The biggest one that I thought about, I don't know, Mizu, if you. So in one of the comics, the leader of the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards, which we know is he do be kind of an asshole on Tony Stark levels.
With that type level, it's hard not to be
an asshole.
Yeah.
Reed Richards sucks as a person.
Yeah.
I would not be friends with him.
Reed specifically inspired everybody's favorite crazy grandpa Rick. The Council of Ricks in Rick and Morty. That's inspired by the Council of Reeds. In Marvel, and there's 3 Reed Richards that have 3 Infinity Gauntlets. So I'm like, how the fuck could you introduce that? Like, all 3 of them are just overpowered as Ultron. They just decide not to do it. I'm just like, what the fuck, bro?
But it doesn't. Well, so this doesn't retcon the comics by any means. It's just it's now like it's kind of like a Boruto situation. It's like, well, this is just fucking movie canon now. You know, it's like Oroshiki may not be in the manga, but like he's in the show, and you can't say anything about it. So like, but the thing is, like, there's tons of like, there's as many Doctor Dooms, you know, like in Adam Warlocks and Thanoses who all wear the Infinity Gauntlet, Silver Surfers. All these people,
but none of them have been powerful enough to see the Watcher, recognize the other multiverses, and literally like transcend the multiverse itself. Because he literally was like the Watcher is watching this all this happen. He's like, I'm gonna find you. He's literally communicating with the Watcher through the multiverse without even seeing him. So I'm like, what the fuck is happening, bro?
I think that to me alone was the scene that really made me scared, when he was just like, now he's a droid without a purpose. And then he looked side-eyed, he was like, who said that? And I was like, he was like, and the Watcher's face was like, oh shit.
It's like when a horror movie gets too personal, you're like, oh no, okay, we're turning that on. It's like it's like, I know, it's like the horror movie, like she cuts, it's like she started looking at you or something. It's like coming out of the well, and you're like, all right, that's enough. You're just like, I'm good, too alone to be watching this currently. So like, but that's absolutely insane. And obviously, I think we're gonna see Ultron probably die in the next episode. But I mean, the Watcher threw some vicious hands. What Mizu?
I was gonna say how. I want to see how they defeat Ultron. I just want to see how they do it.
Because so far, this is like canonically now the most powerful character we've seen in the MCU. Like, just in general. So
I'd say so. Yeah. I mean,
like,
he worked
villain wise. Like, we haven't seen.
What I mean, like, so what's stopping Vision from doing this when Thanos pulled up on him? I mean, our Vision couldn't even beat Thanos' children. That Vision cut Thanos in half with nothing extra except for like having Ultron's mentality.
Fascinating.
Straight down the middle.
Thanos even get to say a word. It was just ended.
Didn't even get to say efficient. Did not even one chance. So I mean, it was crazy. And if we're being real, I mean, I don't know. Would you guys consider him an anti-hero? I'm trying to find a segue here.
Oh no, well the biggest thing is like, what will the future be in terms of the multiverse now? Because like there's so many iterations that you could make, that this series could go on forever. I mean, the biggest one that I'm waiting for obviously is Galactus. Which because the heralds of Galactus are saucy in and of themselves. My favorite is Ghost Rider, which is a great anti-hero. And speaking of anti-heroes,
wow, oh my goodness, that was very impressive.
Speaking of anti-heroes, the question for this week, ladies and gentlemen, is who is the best anti-hero in comics, or just in general?
Pop culture.
In pop culture. And look at all these segues, because obviously you guys know that your boy won this week's.
What does that make the score? What does that make?
We have to start keeping track, because
I had it written down at 3-2-2, and then I think Mizu
won twice.
You no bullshit.
Yeah.
Who won last week?
Well, no. I won twice, like, straight, and then I lost, and I lost twice. I won twice, lost twice straight, which was Bruce and no, I won. I don't know. So I think it might be.
What did we do last week?
The Planet of the Apes, and
you won Planet of the Apes, and then you won AOT.
Yeah. So I've been on a 2-win streak. So I think it might be 5 or 6 Mizu. 6.
5, I believe it's 5.
Yeah, so I think it's 5-5, and then 3 for you, because you've won 3.
I won 3?
Yeah, you won for
guys,
you won for Joker.
If there's a listener out there who is like who is smarter than us, if you could, if you could comment on one of our pages, or like the posting on the YouTube video, what the fucking score is.
Yes,
that would be.
We
awesome.
Don't even know because we don't even know.
All I know is that either myself and Jose are tied, or I'm still up by 1.
Yeah, Mizu's won the most. I think Mizu's won the most, but he had a little slip up in a little bit.
I think you're 5. We'll call it 5-5-3, and we'll move on. But yes, you got first. I got second. Mizu unfortunately got third.
Which I'm just like, here's the thing. I'm surprised, but not surprised.
It got disrespected. No, like here's the thing. Like, My Hero Academia is probably, of all the new gens, probably the biggest. I would argue.
It was
but 38% was way too low.
Yep.
I know. Here's the thing with our selection. I thought it was going to be like, oh, neck and neck. You never know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That really threw me off. Which goes to what I was saying before is that I feel like some people, not all, but I feel like some people can't disassociate the anime with the fandom.
Yep.
So some people will be like, oh, like I like the anime, but I don't like the fandom. Or some people are just like, oh, because I don't like the fandom, I'm going to say the anime is trash and stuff like that.
One bad fan does not mean the anime is bad, because if that was true, Naruto would be literally hot garbage. Okay. I deal with the Naruto fan base every single goddamn day.
Same.
Trust me. It would be hot garbage if that was the circumstance. I am shocked. Like literally awe. I was like, maybe JJK is a stretch, but AOT winning is
tough.
That's not. It's just not the way it's supposed to be. Because
I know it's not. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Speaking of anti-heroes,
it's surprising just a little bit.
AOT is just not the choice. It's not the answer. That's no big anime creator says it's Attack on Titan. This one, like, because here's the thing. We're talking anime. Like, it should have been me who won here. If we're being entirely fucking real.
I'm not surprised a little because of the culture behind Attack on Titan, and the iconic
violent
line.
The memes, bro. Out. It's got to be the memes.
The memes, definitely.
Ridiculous, dude.
But yes, the score was 65% to Attack on Titan, 39% to My Hero Academia, which I was sad about because that is my current like, until Demon Slayer comes out, that is my current favorite new gen at the moment, like, just because of like how recent it is. And JJK, I was expecting more hype for JJK.
I was also just surprised by that too, just a little.
No love.
Yeah, but I mean, it was 54%, so it's not bad. Like, it was close, but.
However, I'm not gonna lie, you could make an argument, because I was telling my wife that, because I was talking about the score and I was like upset, and she was just like, "Well, I can understand a little bit with JJK, because you gotta think about it, kind of like Demon Slayer to a point. Like, it's relatively new, and we still have yet to see more from it, I guess.
It's only got 24 episodes.
True.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll do it again once the movie comes out.
You can make the same argument with Demon Slayer, and it still does very good as well. So you never know. It's whatever.
I wonder what would have happened if one of us had chosen Demon Slayer. Do you think it would have? I don't know, dude. I don't know. So that's terrible. It's terrible. Okay, take your turn. Get out of my face.
Fair. Okay, so the question of this week is, who is the best anti-hero? There's.
Not Sasuke.
I'm thinking because there's many that pop to my eye, just like from just like looking at my notes, because I made a little list before we started. Yep. Movie wise, there's a lot, but in terms of all of pop culture,
honestly, it depends on what you label an anti-hero.
Okay, then let's get into it. So yeah. Let's say an anti-hero is someone who does good but in morally gray ways.
Oh, then I have my pick.
Gotcha.
James Bond.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
James Bond.
Wouldn't he just be our standard hero?
No. That man has literally he's toppled terrorist organizations, but he's also damaged like property. He's
Superman.
Well, yes, yeah, but like, okay, Can I change it?
Okay.
Okay.
We'll give you the opportunity to change it.
Yes,
Yeah,
because
you haven't taken your hand off the piece yet.
First.
Yeah.
Time out.
Yes.
First. Anti-hero. So morally ambiguous.
Yes.
Technically, James Bond is a little bit like morally centered, but just his means are just out of the fucking.
Well, he
like,
shoots
weird.
people in the face, but so does like most like
true.
21st century heroes.
But sometimes you can't explain what they do, right? Like their explanations.
Yes.
Are, for lack of a better word, complicated.
Think Harley Quinn.
Okay.
I would say Harley Quinn, is an anti-hero.
Yes. I'm gonna go with the Punisher.
See, right there, perfect. You nailed.
I'm gonna go with the Punisher.
Like, because he'll torture a motherfucker.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Punisher because of that fact that like sometimes the methods that he goes to are kind of like Peacemaker-esque, where it's like where it's like I'm gonna just do this, and you're like, Frank, you kind of crazy, bro. And even when he and I think it extends to multiple versions of him, right? Because like when he becomes the Ghost Rider, like he still carries that like I don't give a fuck attitude. Like it's literally like his way or the highway, and he will fulfill his duty however he seems fit. So I would say there's more famous anti-heroes, I would say. But
could have just taken the Ghost Rider, but it's too late now.
But no, I mean, I'm technically taking the cop out because Frank Castle is the Ghost Rider too.
Well, he's one of the Ghost Riders.
Yes, but I think the Punisher is my pick.
Okay, I mean, I agree there. The Punisher is generally trying to kill bad guys, and that may mean dragging his best friend's face across broken glass and slowly like cheese shredding his face off his face. There's also just incredible moments where he's just like just literally torturing people. But here, at the end of the day, what makes him a hero is that, like, if we're being real, and what actually makes him the perfect anti-hero is that, talking about the Ghost Rider uses the penance there on him, and it reverses onto the Ghost Rider because he is so steadfast in what he believes and doesn't think he's not doing a bad thing. And arguably, like, I would say largely to the scope of what the Punisher has accomplished aren't bad things. Like, going about it that way is very Madara-esque, I'm gonna say. But outside of that, yeah, that's a good choice. I don't know if it's listen, I mean, who knows? Every week is a surprise with this goddamn stack 'em up. I am going to go with, since it is my turn now, I'm also going to stick to Marvel's comics, and I'm gonna go a bit more higher in the known sphere than you. I'm gonna go with Deadpool. Everyone's favorite mouth merc. Deadpool is the prototypical anti-hero because he's sentient and doesn't give a knows he's in a comic and uses that as an excuse to just do horribly demeaning things to people. B, he's immortal, and here's the thing. So I would say Frank Castle schemes more on the scale of hero than anti-hero. I would say Deadpool scales more on the scale of villain than hero, for being entirely real, because his motivations are usually money. He's not trying to accomplish good things. Does he sometimes do it? Yes, but that's what makes him an anti-hero. He accomplishes things. I mean, even in the movies, I mean, let alone the comics, we see his disparity to the X-Men that he's surrounded with. Like their refusal to take him in because he is just like this unhinged, insane person. Starting as a mercenary, getting immortality, continuing to be a mercenary is often the bad guy, if we're being real. For people like Wolverine, not like because he wants to be the bad guy, but the bad guys are paying more money than the good guys. So I would say his accomplishments of some good things, using his abilities, using just his wit in general, makes him a hero sometimes, but he's also a villain sometimes. It's all about where the money is. So yes, Deadpool, 2 movies, coming in on a 3rd, entering the MCU. Only way he's ever died is when 2 Earths collapsed onto each other, and that killed him. I think he actually might, no, he's back alive in the comics, but he was dead in the comics for like a year. So and just an incredible character. Ryan Reynolds kills it. So yes, that is my pick, Deadpool.
I thought you were gonna go for Wolverine, but yes, I'll take it.
Wolverine isn't, in my opinion, Wolverine isn't an anti-hero. He's just a hero. Because like what is
a lot of people that have been shredded.
Well, yeah, but like it's the same thing as James Bond.
I agree with Nick to a point. Like, yeah, he's more of a gritty hero. He's one of those like, what's an anime equivalent? There's like a character who seems like kind of edgy, but isn't really edgy.
Killua, maybe.
Even then, Killua has killed. Like, I don't say Killua. You could say Killua like that. Yeah,
because Killua will get the job done, but he'll rip your fucking heart out.
Vegeta
is a good choice. But
here's the thing. No, I'll say this because I wouldn't say Vegeta because Vegeta started out like
a villain,
like, kind of an evil individual. Wolverine's never started out evil. He was just like a guy with this regenerative powers.
Yeah.
There was no way for him to not rip people. Like he had his claws built into his hands. Like it was that or the highway. All right, so Mizu, we've been talking about anime. Are you going the anime route? Are you gonna not pander?
So here's the thing. I have one that's Marvel and I have one that's DC.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
but
go with your heart.
One I can make an argument of being an anti-hero.
Yes.
The other one is kind of more of an anti-hero, but the only problem is that he's not as known as y'all.
I think I know the Marvel one that you're thinking of because he's one of your favorite characters. I don't know the DC one you're thinking of.
Okay, so
let me just tell you, if we're thinking the Marvel one,
I'm gonna go with the one that's just but it might make me lose.
Go for the dub. Go for the dub, bro.
Is it Moon Knight? Is it Moon Knight?
No, it's not Moon Knight.
Okay, it's not Moon Knight. Okay, then you're good.
I'm just gonna do it regardless because either one's gonna probably make me lose. But I just want to say it. So the one I'm gonna go with is Magneto.
That's not a guaranteed loss. That's a great choice.
That's a great choice.
Magneto, because here's the thing. For one, we all know he's a sympathetic person. Like he's a sympathetic villain. I mean, he's literally a person who survived a concentration camp. He was there, and he discovered his mutant powers when a certain group of individuals during a certain time period did some
angry
things.
Germans.
Yes, very angry German people.
The reverse monster.
Kill his mother because we can't say the name because we don't want to get demonetized. So, basically revealed his powers, and he basically goes on this whole mindset of, humans are trying to destroy us because they feel threatened by our existence.
Mm-hmm.
And, Charles Xavier, the whole goody, who was raised with wealth, just saying, privileged life, was just like, no, let's come together. Let's be peaceful. And Magneto's just like, no, like, why would you want to make peace with people who want to kill you? Who think you're like not important, who think you're freaks and all that kind of stuff. So if you think about it in a way, Magneto does what he does for the sake of people. It's not just for his own personal gain. He wants to genuinely help his people, as in the next evolution of man, which is Homo superior. That's what they're called in the comics. He even goes so far to, because here's the thing, he's a man of his word, because at first he wanted to make his own nation within the countries that they were in. But he decided, that's not working. I'll make a separate nation called Geonosia. So, but once that was created, he laid off. He wasn't going around attacking people just for the heck of it. He was a man of his word, and it's like, hey, I'm here for humankind. He's often worked with his enemies, like Charles Xavier, the
Next Generations.
Exactly. He's a person who is willing to work with others because he sees a common goal of helping out mutants, and he is. And here's the thing: he is open to the idea of mutants and humans working together. Yeah. Just that it all depends on the human part. If humans are still going to go around here killing us, I'm not going to sit here and let them beat on us. They're going to die.
Fair.
So, hands are rated E.
And he's a compelling person when currently in the X-Men comics, when they made a whole nother little island called Krakoa, why is Magneto, a villain, part of the council for mutant kind?
Kind of makes you wonder.
Kind of makes you wonder that his words had merit, that he is not an evil person at heart.
Yep.
But I'm
also one of the few people to kill Wolverine.
My honorable mention was going to be Spawn, but that was it.
Oh, that'd have been good. Spawn would have been good.
But I feel like a lot of people
you would have lost on Spawn though.
I think that movie, the movie probably would have like kind of dragged you out. But
so here's the thing: I wasn't thinking about the movie. I was thinking about the animated series. If y'all seen that one.
I haven't seen the Spawn. There's a Spawn animated series.
It's most likely on YouTube. It's very graphic too.
It's hard to do Spawn without. There's 4 seasons. That's absolutely bonkers. Oh no, there's 3 seasons. People wanted a 4th season. That looks fire.
Another underrated one, Rorschach from the Watchmen.
I was thinking about him too. Rorschach
is an honorable man. No one is so scared. Angsty. That's literally it. There's better anti-heroes in Naruto alone than Sasuke. Zabuza would have been a great, if you really wanted to lose, Zabuza would have been an incredible one. But yeah, no, I would say that's a great choice. Magneto has helped them in Dark Phoenix. Basically any of the new generation movies, Magneto has been a pseudo good guy. He's an absolute badass. And he actually, if we're being real, Magneto, remember our first, one of our first ever stack 'em ups, which villain do you agree with? Magneto should have came up. If we're being entirely real, it is agreeing with Magneto is a very slippery slope because you can go directly into eugenics,
Captain Genocide.
But agreeing with moderate can also be a slippery slope. But if we're being real, the mutants do represent the next step in human evolution. Does that mean that they should eliminate them? But I think the guy who plays Tyrion Lannister, I'm totally spacing his name.
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage in X-Men Next Generations brings up the Neanderthals and is like Homo erectus destroyed the Neanderthals. That is what they will do to us. And I was like, that's not what they should have done. But they mutants in the X-Men universe do represent the next step evolutionarily for humankind. We're being insane if we think not. But outside of that, I actually have a quick question to circle all the way back. Also, guys, if you want to vote for that, you can find that poll in Jose's Instagram. I chose Deadpool. Jose chose the Punisher, and Mizu chose Magneto.
I think
we all picked Marvel, folks.
All went Marvel. Yeah,
I would have switched. I just realized I would have switched.
The Ghost Rider?
No,
Kratos. Kratos
from God of War.
How is he an anti? They killed his family.
Bro, this man literally destroyed
but
all of Greece.
You can make the argument that he was willing to destroy the gods. What you saw what happened in God of War 3?
He was willing to sacrifice. He was willing to sacrifice the entire fate of the Greek world just because his daddy issues were too much.
Is John Wick an anti-hero?
Yes.
John Wick is an
he was an assassin.
He was an assassin for hire.
That is fair. Yeah, but I'm talking about the plot of everything. They kill your family, you kill them. That's
that's Blade an anti-hero because he cares. He does kill vampires.
I was thinking about Blade. I was thinking about Blade originally. I was going to say Blade. Part of me was thinking about that, but even then, I wouldn't go so far to call him an anti-hero. I mean, even then, his whole vampire shtick, he's kind of tanked. He kind of calmed down with it because before he killed any vampire in sight, but now he's just hold on, I need to calm down. There's some people who don't choose to be vampires, and that's what happens to them. I didn't choose to be a vampire, so.
Alucard from Castlevania could also be one.
Why? Because he killed 2 people that were trying to kill him?
I thought you meant Alucard from the anime, Hellsinger from
Alucard from the anime is far from an anti-hero. He's just the bad guy.
He just bad, bro.
Yeah. You could say Hellsing would be a good anti-hero.
True.
That would be that's a good choice. There's a lot of really good choices. None of those would have won, unfortunately. I mean, you could have said Harley Quinn. Red Hood. Yeah.
True.
Is the Red Hood an anti-hero?
I mean, I would say in this, Batman definitely think so.
Well, yeah, but he got tortured by the Joker for 6 months, and then was like, hey, what if we killed the Joker? And it was like, yeah, it's probably not the most insane reaction to getting tortured for 6 months.
True.
What about Injustice Superman?
He's just
that's an anti-hero.
He's just the bad guy.
No, that's an anti-hero.
That's
an anti-hero. Injustice Superman? Because Lois Lane gets killed. He starts off as a hero. Lois Lane gets killed. He's trying to vie for peace, but he's just trying to get control.
That's the same thing the Empire tried to do in Star Wars.
Would you not say Darth Vader was an anti-hero?
No, Darth Vader is a total ass villain.
I wouldn't even say Darth Vader's an anti-hero.
Darth Vader's a whole ass villain, bro.
But he's a villain for the majority of the movie, and then he becomes a hero in the end.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I made it a point
Bro.
before. Just because you do one good deed as a bad guy does not mean you're a hero. I applied that logic with Darth Vader. I applied that same logic with Obito. I don't care about you. Like, you did that one good thing. You're still a bad guy. It doesn't erase all the terrible things you've done.
Equating it to Obito is what made me come around on it, because you're absolutely right. Obito being like, I care now, in the end is like, bro, you're the fucking reason we're here.
Same with Frieza. Same with Frieza. He was only good because it fit his agenda of surviving. But he's only good for like half a tournament, a quarter of a tournament.
Ass kicking of a lifetime for like 5 straight minutes that kind of made me want to be like, maybe he paid for his sins. Golden.
No, but here's the thing. I think the one caveat for Frieza to not be an anti-hero is because the whole how key the power system works is that different color of your aura means what kind of a person you are. Good, white is usually like good. Frieza is still purple, which is evil. Frieza is still
genuinely bad. Golden Frieza versus Brawly, when they were waiting for Goku to like level up, and Frieza was getting shit kicked out of him. I was like, this feels like penance. They should have taken longer. Yeah, it was like
make a little
Piccolo,
bit longer, bro.
It was like Piccolo getting his special beam cannon, like getting ready, like watching Goku get the shit kicked out of him. He's like, ain't nobody gonna make me speed up my process. It's just Goku's just like sitting there, like, I'm ready, but this is fun to watch. Okay, so yes, you guys could vote for a lot of honorable mentions in there. Once again, I chose Deadpool. Jose chose the Punisher, not the Ghost Rider, and Mizu chose Magneto. Once again, I would like to clarify that Jose chose the Punisher, not Ghost Rider.
Watch me put the picture of the cosmic Ghost Rider.
You could make an argument that Ghost Rider. I don't think Ghost Rider is an anti-hero.
Do you think he's a bad guy?
Because he's possessed by the Angel of Justice.
I guess.
Of vengeance, though. Sarathos is vengeance. But he originally, before he became an Angel of Vengeance, he was an Angel of Justice. It's true. That's very true.
So,
fallen angel.
You can say that, and oftentimes think about it, when Ghost Rider when Johnny Blaze, whoever is the Ghost Rider, turns to the Ghost Rider, he only turns to the Ghost Rider when he senses like sin and evilness around him.
Yeah.
So you can't be necessarily anti-hero if you're taking people out for their terrible sins. It's not like, here's the thing, it's not like you cursed and that's your sin. He's not like if you cursed, you said God's name in vain, and he turns to the Ghost Rider and then he has to murder you. It's like more like
just burns your soul out. You're like, okay, that's my bad. Yeah, that is. The thing is, like, anti-heroes it's a thinly tread line. You're like, what makes
thing? You can make an argument for Robbie Reyes' Ghost Rider because he's not possessed by the spirit of vengeance. He's possessed by a spirit that is a murderous spirit, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, and he's trying to control that spirit so he doesn't go berserk.
That's your man. That's your man's, Jose. That's your favorite Ghost Rider too.
No, he's not.
No?
No.
Oh, who's your favorite Ghost Rider? I thought it was Robbie Reyes.
I'm a big Johnny fan, but like, dude, the Punisher just by the way he just treats Galactus, it's just fucking great.
I could have swore you were like, that's my favorite Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes.
That's for me. I like Robbie Reyes. Robbie Reyes is my favorite Ghost Rider.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Once again, guys, go vote. That is all we got, gentlemen. Do we have any news we want to cover? Oh, wait, a little bit of anime news. If you guys aren't caught up with Boruto, and if you're not caught up with Boruto, mute yourself for like 5 minutes. Kurama died this week in Baryon mode. Naruto smashed Kurama and Naruto's chakra together, and guess who had more chakra, which is bonkers? Naruto has more chakra than half of Kurama. So those of you being like, oh, without Kurama, Naruto ain't shit. Guess who survived the smashing of the chakra? Not Kurama. Okay, so yes, Kurama has used all of his chakra. He's expended his life force, and he has floated away in one of the saddest moments in Naruto, just plain ever. Just plain ever. Boruto 218 was absolutely bonkers. Probably the best episode of Boruto we've ever gotten, and 217 was also a masterpiece. Absolutely crazy. I actually made a little YouTube video talking about how Kurama isn't actually dead. So if you're sad and you want, I don't know, like more
respite.
Yeah, exactly. You want respite in this moment, go watch my YouTube video. It was the biggest YouTube video I've ever done. Outside of that, Jobless Reincarnation got renewed for season 2, and it is coming back today, October 3rd. So if you like isekais, you're probably going to like this one that people are regarding as the best isekai of all time. Go watch Jobless Reincarnation 2. The Demon Slayer game comes out on October 14th. If you pre-order it, you can get it on the 13th. Bandai Namco, please send the check. Outside of that, I think that's all we got for anime news.
For anime news, yes, but I think we would be remiss if we didn't address probably one of the best foreign language shows out there that's absolutely crazy on the social medias.
Money
Squid
Heist.
Game.
Ah, shit.
Money Heist as well. So we are getting the final season of Money Heist, but Squid Game on Netflix has been making the rounds on social media. We won't cover it in depth because our dear friend Nick still has to finish it.
I can talk all the way up to episode 4. Halfway through episode 5.
Fair.
Here's the thing. I will say this. I am so happy that I saw Squid Game before I went on TikTok. My God, man.
I haven't gotten a single TikTok about it. I talk about it all the time.
Lucky you.
TikTok's not listening.
It is literally like bonkers. Like I started getting into like the algorithm started feeding it to me for some ungodly reason. Like, well, I finished it, so that's probably like the algorithm just being like, this is what you saw. Yeah. Consume. But that was bonkers. Like, I would like, just like I made in my video today, watch it in Korean, like the full emotion,
but
like
the subtitles,
bro. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't know how to read,
dude. Even if you're not an like a sub anime viewer, which has like it's basically good prep for shows like this, and like La Casa de Papel, you definitely need to watch this in Korean because like every single actor, like it was, I didn't find any duds. I didn't find a single dud. Like,
oh no, everyone fucking hammered it,
bro. Everybody was like, it was convincing. It was gut wrenching. We're not gonna talk about the finale yet, but like the finale, like kind of like it crushed me, but at the same time left me with that sense of like I want more. And I think I don't know.
They're talking about season 2.
Squid Game. Ooh.
They're talking. The director is a relatively new director, and he's talking with like older, more. Here's the thing. What's wild is every third video on my girlfriend's feed has been Squid Game. I'll just be like cooking dinner for the both of us, and I'll just hear Okowa go kimi wa, and I'm just like every third fucking video, dude. And I'm like, you've seen every video with that sound. It's absolutely insane. Yes. I have been fortunate. It's all still anime on my FYP, so I'm chilling.
Here's the thing. I watched it I actually watched it in 3 different languages. So I watched it in Korean. Gotcha. I watched it in Spanish. I watched it in English dub because I just wanted to see how they were,
how it looked.
They did well.
That sounded
And here's the thing. I will say this: the dub is not that bad. The only time I say that the dub is bad, the English dub is bad, is the red light, green light, because we don't get the song like we do in Korean. It's just red light. Green light. No song.
Okay, real question. How do you guys?
The voice actors actually pretty much matched up. Like this, I'm not gonna lie. They made me think like these would, if they actually spoke English, this is what they would sound like. Especially the person who played the old man, who did the dub voice for the old man and the main character.
No,
I thought they were actually speaking like I thought that was like actually them at some point speaking English.
Yeah. Okay. That man is the realest one out there. I fucking love One. Yeah, One is definitely awesome. Have you guys seen the pictures of 456 in the 90s?
No way.
Dude, he was like hot. Like hot. Like he would be in like BTS front and fucking center nowadays, dude. He was like oh my goodness. He's very attractive. Speaking of very attractive, the model who Hoyan, what's her name? Hoyan Jung, I believe.
Everybody simping for, man.
Well, and well deserved. She is gorgeous.
Absolutely.
But
she's
also
young, isn't she?
She's 27.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
I felt bad because I was sipping and I was like, damn, she looks really young.
You know the guy, who played the slap game with 456 in the beginning, the dad from Train to Busan. He's 40 years old.
What?
Bro, Koreans have unlocked the fucking the fountain of youth. I shit you not.
She's 26 years. I'm 23 years old.
She might be 28. She's either 27 or 28.
She is gorgeous, bro.
Yeah. So everyone is simping over her. Also, her first acting performance.
No way.
Really?
No way.
She's been a model her whole life. This is her first acting performance.
Wow.
Isn't that
She
bonkers?
killed it.
Yeah, she did very good. She did. What's funny is though she's like very like effervescent and very like bubbly as a person. And everyone's like
she's just so sad in this.
and she's so sad that everyone's like, what the fuck? Like how you have to be the person.
27.
Yeah. They do things.
She's drop dead, bro.
I'm telling you, like Koreans have unlocked the serum for like eternal youth. They look 25 until they turn 55, and then they look 70. But that fortunately, like I've locked myself down a woman who looks much younger than she is. So I'm hoping that's the way for eternity. But yes, it was an incredible show, well acted, like well choreographed. I think it was the directorial debut or like one of the first director doing something. Absolutely incredible, sweeping the nation. I cannot remember a show sweeping the nation this hard since what, Game of Thrones?
La Casa de Papel was pretty big. Like when it first started, like hitting the rounds.
What are you saying?
Money Heist.
Gotcha.
Money Heist.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
Thanks for whitewashing it.
My bad. So when it started making the rounds around like season 2, it's when like Netflix picked it up and it would like went viral. And like it was that, but Squid Game is the thing is it's such a different type of show. Because like the color palette, it literally looks like you're in a like an old sandbox. Do you know what it reminded me of? Little Big Planet, the game from PlayStation.
Hey, I love that game.
Because of the high ceilings, because they feel it makes the humans look so small.
Yes, and every single room is like themed around a certain thing. Like it looks like that type of atmosphere. That being said, though, I will never look at my PlayStation controller the same way because of they use the same symbols for the for the soldiers, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening, bro?
Every time I saw the symbols together and I saw them use the cards and stuff like that, I'm just like, is this a threat from PlayStation?
Yeah. Sony's like, don't act up. Don't act up. I'll put you in a box.
Don't buy the Xbox.
Do you guys think you would make it?
Who? Me?
Do you think you would make it?
0% chance.
Here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie. I have faith in myself. I would argue that I would make it until the glass. No, you haven't gotten far yet. I can't say anything yet. I will make it until the how many episodes are there? 9.
9.
But only 7 of them have games. I think 2 episodes don't have a game.
Games. So I would make it until episode 8. Until that certain game comes up, I'm just like, okay, that's why I would have been screwed.
Oh, okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think so. What I've seen thus far has
let
been.
Me know. Yeah, let us know
Red
what
Light, Green Light.
Okay.
Honeycomb and Tug of War. I would crush it at Tug of War. Love Tug of War. Grew up playing it like every weekend. Honeycomb, GG's. I'm gonna say GG's on that one because if I got anything that wasn't a triangle,
the circle.
I don't want the circle. Are you kidding me? The circle looks hard.
That's true.
Also, favorite characters.
I need. Let me get the names because
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Ali crushed me. Ali,
yeah, for real. I definitely
say
Ali as well.
What do you mean Ali crushed you?
What
do you mean? Oh
no! Anyway,
my bad.
Anyway,
sorry.
Oh, I'm so fucking devastated right now.
I'm so sorry, bro.
He has a kid.
Yeah. So for me, I keep butchering their names, and so I gave them all like nicknames for like stuff like that. So
old guy
like
Ali.
The main character, I just called him MC. So the MC is one of my favorites.
Gihon. That's Gihon. That's easy to do. Gihon.
Did you look up him in the 90s?
Yes, he's hot as fuck.
Hot as shit. Yeah.
I really liked him because how problematic he was. Snakeface.
Deoksu, I believe.
Yes, I really liked that.
Terrible tattoo.
Yes, the one that I didn't.
Super cute on social media. He like dances with his pets.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which I love.
Did you guys like Hanmi Neo? The girl
who fucks Deoksu?
Yeah.
Oh no, I fucking despised her. She's probably my least favorite character.
I liked her character, but I did not. I mean,
that's the only one that I was like, I love to. It's the character that I love to hate because she's just like trying to survive in the most sneaky way possible.
Oh, we would all. Like, the thing is, like, I'm surprised. Like, there's not a lot of moral upstanding in that show, but there would be way less than they show. like there would be a lot more people like her, like playing the game dirty.
Have you met player 240 yet?
The girl?
So like not 67, not the
yeah, the other girl.
The other girl. Have you met her yet?
Introduced for Tug of War. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
I love her. Yeah, love her. She's real.
She's awesome. I would say, okay. I'll give you my top 3. My Ali's not gonna make it in my top 3 because of these 3.
They're wild.
So yeah. So I would say Songwo. So the brains. Yeah. The brains is my top 3.
What he did in the honeycomb? Oh, you're tripping. After that honeycomb bullshit,
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna say awesome character, really satisfying to see his whole arc within the show.
Gotcha.
The number 2, the old man,
naturally,
for sure, the old man.
Dude, when he gets on top of the beds and he's like, "Stop! Everyone's gonna die," bro, my heart broke.
Yes,
my heart broke.
And number 1, so I am between the MC and the girl. So G, her name is what is it? Kang Saebyok. I think her character is really well, like the exploration of like why she is the way that she is really cool. But I'm gonna go with the MC, bro. The MC
456 is great,
bro, because he has so much internal trauma, so many times that he's fucked up and gotten back up, fucked up and gotten back up, and then he has to like go into this game and like he starts caring for these people, and like obviously, as you know in the freaking series, like people die. It's like Game of Thrones.
People, are you fucking
no yeah, but it's not like but like God. Think about it, but I think about it like it's like and I don't think this is a spoiler because it's been described as this is essentially the Hunger Games. Like only one person is supposed to make it out, because like they explain it by episode 4 that like there's a winner from every like time they get into the thing. Yeah, like there's a winner. There's one winner. They never say like so they explain it how the prize works. So like there's a grand prize, but if people stop playing, they divide the money amongst the deceased. But there's one grand prize winner. So like that's why like it's so crushing to like see everything happen between your very eyes. I would say like from what you've seen so far, Nick, what have you liked the most, liked the least, and like expectations?
I would say what I've liked the most has definitely been the character development. Also the fact that it is telling what I like the most of that is telling a genuine story that the working class is historically underrepresented and crushed in most like capitalistic societies. Just the underbelly it just shows the underbelly of capitalism, and that it's just a human. It just churns out people. And it puts people in these situations where a gun to the back of their head is better than the situation they're living in freely outside of those circumstances. So the narrative and the tone, it's very parasitian, it's a great story that's being told. And I'm on the worst part though is that there's going to be an American remake in 3 years that completely misses the fucking point, and it's just going to be like, oh no, we all got abducted and now we have to get through these games, and it's going to completely miss like the the working classes being like historically underrepresented in modern like capitalistic like structures. So like that's going to be like the my worst part. What I'm looking forward to, Ali surviving, big. That's stoked on Ali's prospects, getting him back to Pakistan. Really just like hang out with his 1-year-old son, his wife, seeing the moon that he loves so much. So yeah, really stoked on Ali surviving.
You know what I'm gonna say?
Yeah,
I'm gonna take a quote from J.D. Benioff and D.B. Weiss, the directors of Game of Thrones. If you think this story has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.
Gotcha. But I thought it was a wholesome story about 5 friends who come together in extraordinary circumstances. Right? No, it's not that. Okay.
Attention.
Cool.
Oh, but no, he has to watch more.
Yes, I do. I really do. Yeah, I'm excited, and it's an incredible show, and I'm happy that we're getting it. And I think you guys, if you are watching Squid Game, you should be looking for the undertones, because it's not just a show about a bunch of people who came in through extraordinary circumstances. It does have incredibly poignant and important social satire, and you should see that. You should be in like an observant observer. So yes, no, that's what I'm looking for. It's a great show, and I'm really enjoying it. I would be done, but me and my girlfriend are watching it together, and our schedules linking up is never good. So we get like one episode a day. So next week I'll be completed, and we can rejoice in Ollie's return to Pucks.
And hopefully by next week, we can get a guest to discuss it with us.
That would be incredible. But that's all we got for the week, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out and being with us this week. To reiterate, I am Nick C. Comedy, NC Hammer 23 on YouTube. If you want to hear about how Karama's coming back, go ahead and check that page out. Also, NC Hammer 23 on Twitch. We got a big announcement for the Twitch coming out tomorrow. Keep an eye on my TikTok. Jose?
Big announcements for me. I'm making YouTube videos a little bit more consistently now. I got some editors courtesy of the beautiful Nixie Comedy. We are on the editing grind together. My Venom review is coming this week, the non-spoiler one, the full spoiler-filled version. After you watch this podcast, you can go see that on my YouTube. The big thing for you guys on my case is vote for the damn Weeb Weekly Stack 'em Up. It is on Instagram. I'm Tropical Joe. Just go to the stories as soon as this goes live, and you can vote for your favorite anti-hero, The Punisher, my bad,
Magneto
and Deadpool. Those are the three options. And then and also, bro, subscribe to the Patreon. Like, if you want some dope ass content, if you want some dope ass content, if you want a 3-hour extravaganza of Star Wars goodness, you can hear it on Patreon and see it on our YouTube. So
there's also other subscriber benefits to the Patreon. You guys will get access to a private Discord with the three of us. We're going to be doing monthly Discord calls with everyone, hanging out with our Junine, our Chonin, and our Junine. Unfortunately, getting just get access to the ad-free podcast, as well as the exclusive podcasts. But they also get access to the Discord as well. On top of that, guys, when we do release merchandise, Patreon subscribers will get early access to it. And if years in advance we decide to start doing live shows in 2026. You guys will get first access to those kinds of tickets. So keep an eye out for it.
Mizu.
You guys can catch me on Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, and occasionally YouTube, but it's mostly just for those who want to see some of my older content. I plan on making more like compilation videos of some of my earlier skits that I've done. Still doing more anime reviews. Check it out both on my Instagram and TikTok. Doing anime character rewrites, where I rewrite a character and see what I can add to them, whether in terms of character development or in terms of strength. I did Kiba from Naruto. I did Ino recently, with Naruto, and also Tintin as well. On top of that, big news for me is that I have a little intro thing I created. You guys can go see it on my Ino page, on my Ino video, on my TikTok, and also on Instagram as well. And it's pretty good. It is well put together, and it has a little music to it, and it has credentials in it.
Let's go. What did you give Ino? Like a helmet when she falls over after leaving her body, using the one jutsu she knows how to do? Yeah, just like, or those like, it would like those things they put on old people when they detect a fall. It's like a body, like a body airbag essentially. I
haven't thought about it in terms of like armor and things like that yet. I have talked about weapons. Like Kiba, I said that he should have those claw type.
Yep, absolutely. It would make Fang over Fang much more effective. But hell yeah, guys, you know where to follow us now. So go ahead and do it if you don't already. We are going to have to kick it to the outro here.